If m raised to log of 2 base 3 plus 2 raised to log of m base 3 is equal to 8, then what is the value of m? This is a relatively easy question given that you know how to work with logarithms and their properties. We can see from the equation that there are two terms which have the same base 2, while the first term has a different base m. If we could somehow make all the terms have the same base, then we could easily solve the question. In order to proceed, we need to understand a fundamental property of logarithm. Suppose you are given a term a raised to log of b. Then we can say that this term is equal to b raised to log of a. Essentially, when we have the log in the exponent, then we can switch the base of the term with the argument of the log, and both of them will be equal to each other. It has a fairly simple proof. We can start off with the equation we are trying to prove, and if it simplifies into something which is universally or always true, then the initial statement we are trying to prove is also correct. Since these two terms are equal, then we can also say that their logarithms will be equal as well. Now, using the power rule of log, when the argument has an exponent, it can be taken out of the log and then written as a product alongside it. What we now have are two of the same terms on each side of the equation. Hence, we can say that the initial property that we were trying to prove is also correct. Going back to our question, we will see the use of the property here as well. Since we need to have a base of 2 in the first term, we can switch the base with the argument of the log, giving us 2 raised to power log of m base 3. Now that we have the same base in all terms of the equation, we can further solve this question. Since LHS has the same terms, we can rewrite it as one term and add 1 in the exponent. We now have 2 being raised to some power on both sides of the equation. Taking the logarithm of expressions on both sides of the equation and applying the power rule of log, we can bring the exponents of both the terms out of the log. Then log 2 gets cancelled on both sides. Now we are left with a simple equation which can be solved by manipulation. Giving our final answer as m, which is equal to 9.